Hello and welcome to this second spoiler video with me, Rebecca Walker, joined as always by Richard Walker.
Hello.
Hello. And yeah, we've got some more spoilers for you.
Wow.
Do you want to tell us where we got them from, Richard?
Yeah, just like the last spoiler video, they were from the design team, which was formed by the original Conclave, which has now disbanded, but yeah, they had loads of cards that they were redesigning, and so these are some more of the proposed redesign work that they're going to, I think, still introduce into the community. Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun to have new cards to play with and discuss.
Well, it was interesting playing the last game. Playing with some slightly different cards, and I felt like that game was more balanced.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly did feel more balanced.
I'm interested to see how these play out.
So yeah, so we've got, I think it's 5 officially being spoiled cards in this game. There are a few other cards that will appear that are being worked on for changes, but as we don't have those official spoilers yet, we're just sort of going to stick with the 5 that we've got, have been confirmed and got the information for. You might maybe recognise vaguely the deck. I played this deck to top 8 at UK Nationals. Now, as you can see, it's very legal. So 3 guesses on what cards are being altered. But yeah, so I think Richard sort of tweaked the deck a little bit to help it fit a bit better with the adjustments that have been made to some of these spoil cards. And then there's been a couple of new cards that have come out as well, haven't there, that you've added in.
Yeah, like at the gate, the Titan Bastard.
Yeah.
Those specifically. Brown Ben Plum, perhaps.
Yeah, I can't remember what the deck was exactly now.
Don't matter, I suppose.
Yeah, it feels like ages ago playing UK Nationals. Was this last year's one?
It was 2018.
2018. Wow, ages ago. So yeah, I mean it's a pretty standard deck that you might remember with the Histar and Flea Bottom Meereen and stuff like that. But we are going to be looking at those changes for those possible spoilers. And so this deck is going to be facing against a Tyrell Crossing deck.
Nice segue.
Thank you. It was perfectly timed, I thought. So again, in the Tyrell deck, you can see there's a few restricted cards that may or may not be appearing in the video.
Including a banned card?
Apparently so. So again, 3 guesses on what's coming out. Richard, do you want to tell us a little bit about the cards, about the deck?
Yeah, there's some Tyrell cards and some neutral cards. The deck is Crossing. Win challenges, win the game.
Cool.
I mean, alternatively, obviously you've got Mace there. You've got Tinder Marge along quite a few knights, and some low-cost militaries in left and right, and Sir Colin, just to have a little bit more stability in the lower curve.
It's interesting you've got Tinder Marge and you've got Valor Morgulis. Quite often Tinder Marge is used with Wildfire, isn't she? So that you can sort of keep, save the ones that you definitely want to keep, kind of thing.
There's no real way of dealing with your opponent's strongest 3 characters if you Wildfire.
True.
There's no milks or anything like that, no pinch of powder to remove. And so, Valor Morgulis does the job, I guess, just as well. There's 2 Varys in here as well.
Yeah, I noticed them. And
it's not necessarily all about trying to trigger Tinder Marge. It's just to have a threat to deter your opponent from militarying you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if we look at the charts, your military icons are relatively low. Especially like for crossing as well, you tend to want to have a good range. But then you've got left and right that can just be non-kneeling on defence, and then you can then use...
Yeah, I think left and right are pretty good in crossing if you can guarantee going second, because they can defend your challenges and then attack.
Yeah. Yeah, which, spoiler, is what you managed to do for a lot of this game. Because your plots have got good initiative.
I didn't even play Brienne.
In this game?
In this deck. Oh.
So we're going straight into a spoiler card because it's actually my Red Door card. So Meereen. The original text on Meereen then is that you kneel Meereen to place each card in your hand face down under Meereen and draw 3 cards. And at the end of the phase, or if Meereen leaves play, discard your hand and return each card you placed under Meereen to your hand. However, we have some new changes. Do you want to run us through those changes, Richard?
Well, it's now contested. It had the contested trait, which is relevant for the event Lay Siege. That can be discarded. It also had the action kneel Meereen and discard 1 card from your hand to place each card in your hand face down under Meereen to draw 3 cards. At the end of the phase, or if Meereen leave play, discard your hand and return each card you placed under Meereen to your hand.
So I think the main change here then is, you say, contested, which means it's going to be more sort of susceptible to things like Lay Siege. And then also the big thing is that you now have to discard a card from your hand to get those cards. Now, I think this is quite important because although Meereen helps you with your card drawing in Targ, this is also stopping you from having like that really big advantage of just getting the card draw with no consequences. Discarding a card from hand, obviously, if you've got Missandei or Freedmen, doesn't always have to be a bad thing. But you know, there's only so many Missandei in your deck. There's only so many Freedmen in your deck. It does mean that you're going to have to actually, you know, possibly just be losing a card if you're that desperate to get some new cards into hand.
Yeah, but still, you draw 2 cards at the start of every round, so getting rid of one of them to have an extra 3 options is still okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the wording here works, because it says kneel Meereen and discard 1 card from your hand, 2, which indicates the previous bit of the cost. Place each card in your face down under Meereen, 2. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. That might need slightly rewording.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have, as at the point of us commentating on this, the exact image for it, but this was the wording that was sent to me, so it might have a last tweak or so before it comes out officially. But yeah, this is the wording that I received. But yeah, I mean, let's have a little look at the actual game itself. Or did you want to talk about the card?
I just wanted to say, regardless of the wording of Meereen, we are in no doubt as to how it is intended to work.
Yes.
You know, you discard a card before you can trigger the rest of the Meereen effect. And that's how they want it to work. So we're aware of that. So if there's any other rule, quirk as to the wording, that needs to be tied up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting setup, Rebecca. 4 gold, 3 cards. Nice.
Yeah, well, it's a red door, so I only get 4 gold. So, yeah, thought that was all right.
You're glad I reminded you.
We did a practice game before this, and didn't I get like a 6-card setup?
Yeah, and then I said, that 4 gold, is it? And you're like, oh, 5-card setup then.
Yeah, that's still pretty good. And so I've played out a Viserys, a Second Sons, and a Rose Road. Whilst you have played out, is that the Arbor at the bottom there?
It is.
And it's a colon, and the, Steve and Septim.
Yeah, so that's nice. This game is evoking memories of 2018, you know, that kind of bullshit deck that you used to play with Targ HRD Meereen, Tyrell Crossing with the Arbor. Yeah. You know, it feels very retro.
Well, I mean, I think that's the whole point though, isn't it? It's taking cards that are considered too strong to be sort of played together in the current climate and tweaking them to make them acceptable in the current climate.
Yeah, it's almost like we're scaling back the overpowered card just so we can have the meta we had a couple of years ago and making them fairer.
Yeah.
You've opened Time of Plenty.
Yeah.
I've opened the Hands Tourney.
You have, and I'm playing out a big character now. What's it going to be?
Dario.
No.
Hista.
It's another spoiler.
Nice, okay.
You guys are getting spoiled.
Right, do you want to do some reading?
Sure. So originally, his style was that you discard a card from hand to reduce the cost of the next card you marshal, ambush, or bring out of shadows by 3, with a limit once per phase. Now you have to discard a character card to do the same thing, and it's a limit of once per round.
Okay.
So it's pretty nerfed, I feel.
It is different.
The once per round is a little bit sad, especially as I forget this like twice during the game, and Marshall thinking that I can do it per phase and then realise that actually I can't, so I can't quite do what I wanted to do.
These are the kind of thing a lot of people will do when these releases are first played with.
Yeah.
Everyone will forget the text and then just go, oh no, I want you to do that again.
Well, you know, it'll take getting used to, but that's the thing, isn't it, with new cards? They do take getting used to.
Yeah, so the limit 1 per round, that's the biggest nerf, because you can't do it marshalling phase, challenges phase. That's significant. Although, you know, his die is basically a Kingsword. Without having to pay the 1 gold. Instead, you're just discarding a card. Now, we know Targ have benefit from discarding cards in Freedmen, Missandei, character card. The character card is a little bit more narrow. It might mean that you have to build your deck with more characters in mind.
Yeah.
And that is why I put a card like the Titan Bastard in your deck. Because if you're throwing away a character card, like for example Brown Ben Plum, you could kneel the Titan Bastard to get it back to your hand. Or if you have to discard Dario for his Dard ability, you can get him back with the Titan Bastard. So that's why I made that change. So the character thing isn't that much of a nerf. I think people can live with that, especially with Missandei, Jorah Mormont, Brazen Beast. There's lots of options. But I think the limit 1 per round is the true nerf. And I do think that brings it back in line, because his Dart is, like, he gives you a reduction of 3, which is significant. It's a Kingsword by just discarding any card from your hand for which you may actually receive an additional benefit for later.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, when you've got cards like Missandei that you can just discard from hand and it goes into play, it doesn't really feel like that much of a cost, does it?
No.
But yeah, I mean, keeping it as a limit once per round instead of once per phase is, well, and it's annoying if you're used to being able to do it more often than that.
Yeah, I think the people that will complain about that are the people that are used to abusing it, really. And it will feel like much more of a nerf because you can't do all the stuff you wanted to do before.
Yeah.
But I think it is fairer.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, this was, as we say, my Nationals top 8 deck, and I think as I was playing the game, I was like, oh, I could do things like this, and it was all coming back to me, and then it was like, oh, actually, no, I can't do things like that anymore. So that was a little bit sad.
Can't break the rules anymore.
Yeah. Not with this particular version, anyway. So yeah, so got the Hizdar on the board, and got a dupe from him as well.
So are you going to trigger Hizdar?
I think I'm still sort of like in my head just trying to plan around the ones per phase because I'd forgotten. When
is it more important to use it? Marshalling phase, so you know what you're going into the challenge phase with, or in the challenge phase where you might be able to seduce me into doing something wrong.
So yeah, apologies for my overthinking here. I think you had to remind me as well. You were like, remember, it's once per round, not per phase. And I was like, oh shit.
Probably.
That's how it normally goes, isn't it?
Oh, you're going to trigger Hizdar?
Yeah.
Getting rid of Jikwi?
I mean, both of our decks are running Flea Bottom, so I don't mind chucking a little person away because I know that I might be able to get them back later if I find the Flea Bottom.
Yeah. And there is the Titan Bastard with his big bastard beard.
You know what? Like, it wasn't until we were doing the commentary just then that I realised why you'd put him in there, like to get the stuff back if I had to chuck it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. Why didn't I do that? That would have made so much sense.
I think he only gets mercenaries back or something like that. With Jikwi isn't a mercenary, but there are some mercenaries in your deck. The Second Son, Dario, Brown Ben Plum.
Yeah. And I've got a card in Shadows there as well.
Oh, spicy.
It's not that exciting.
Well, it definitely isn't going to get you this round with your Hizdar.
Nope.
Hightower, which makes me quite thankful that I played the hand tourney, because I would definitely lose a military challenge and I wouldn't want to lose my board. Triggering Steve is nice. So I've got some board stability for this round, I think, from military claim at least. I've got Hightower and a Hightower trigger. got options. I like it.
You've got quite a weak board at the moment, though, character-wise.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, first snow would be lovely.
Hmm.
Oh
Yeah, but hang on. You would only keep one character.
We can gloss past that. It's fine. Oh.
Tinder Marge.
But you don't have any lords on the board at the moment, do you?
No, Lord. She got renowned. She's a big intrigue icon, which I think is the challenge I'm worried about this round, because you're fair, power and military do nothing, which means intrigue's the only one I want to defend.
Yep, makes sense.
And I don't really need... I mean, crossing is chosen not because I'm trying to rush to victory, because I'm confident in the deck's ability to initiate 3 challenges when I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not round 1, but definitely from round 2 to 5, 6. The other
Crossing
reason
going to 6, Jesus.
yeah, like I said, it's not rush.
Mm.
It's more stability, but also it allows you to use the faction nil.
Yes. I've gone in with the intrigue first because I figure the only one that would be able to defend it would be Marjorie. And that way, if you did the intrigue back at me with the Septon, I should be able to defend it with the Titan's Bastard.
I see.
So I don't mind if you defend it, because like I say, it means I'll be able to defend the intrigue on the way back, theoretically, unless you do the intrigue last as a crossing.
I'm tempted to defend it, I don't think there's any benefit of me doing crossing, unless you get 2 unopposed powers.
So you've gone unopposed here, which was what I didn't want you to do. And stealing your flea bottom. Is it worth me doing more challenges? I guess so. Like, can you win the military? Actually, no. Like, so I can defend the military, so you're not going to get the power from that. But then I can't defend and win the military and the power, because I'd need the second sons. So I guess I stop? I can't even remember what I do now.
Not even sure if it matters.
Probably not.
So, Rebecca, you know how I sometimes say you're a little bit slow?
You realise it was you doing a challenge, right?
You only just said, and I did the first thing.
We were waiting on you.
Doubt it. Intrigue for 4. Unopposed.
Yeah, I go unopposed because it gives me more chance to defend the other challenges in my head.
Flea bomb.
Apparently neither of us are allowed a flea bomb this game. So you got unopposed and then the renown as well.
Oh, we'll do a militoire.
Which I'll defend.
Yeah. Power for 4. I'm not going to win either of these, but board's going to get now out. I'm going to trigger Steve to get 2 gold and I'll win dominance.
Yeah. Which is exactly what happens.
Nice. So I think this is the nice round for me. I'm not worried about military or power. I've lost a card for intrigue, but at the same time, I've set up my economy base with the high tower, Great Hall, in addition to the arbor. I've got Marge, she's got a renown on her. I've come out ahead on power. I feel like I've come out okay with this.
Yeah, I feel like you come out that round better. Like say, you're currently winning 3-1. We both lost a flea bottom, so like there was no difference in the cards that were taken. And you actually like got to draw a card. Both lost a character, but you got to draw a card as a result of that losing. I've gone from At the Gates and you're in Wardens of the South.
Yeah.
I hate that plot, it's so bloody annoying.
I think it's really overpowered.
You think it needs redesigning?
I think it is really overpowered. Attacking or defending character, no limit. Every single Tyrell character you can have on the board.
And considering the amount of characters in Tyrell that can positively benefit from strength boosts, you know, things like Randall and stuff like that.
Anything else?
Yes, there are others that get strength boosts and get stuff because of it. Like the knight dude who gets renown if his strength is above 5.
Fossilway.
Sure.
2 cards. That's a theme, ladies and gentlemen.
There are others. You know, my memory's not great.
I love how you just start attacking yourself. My memory's not great. Okay, I've made you the first player.
I think I'm first player like every round this game.
So, Gates of the Moon. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I had decent economy because I wanted to play out my flea bottom.
Flea bottom.
Which is quite different. So originally you would pay a gold and kneel flea bottom to put a character with printer cost 3 or lower into play from your discard pile. At the end of the phase, that card would go on the bottom of your deck. Now, instead of paying 1 and kneeling the flea bottom to do it, you need to bestow it when you marshal the card. So it's a bestow 3, which means you have to put that investment into the card and then kneeling it and discarding a gold from it to do the same action, basically. Now, I think this is quite important because, for example, I don't like playing Astapor. I feel really reluctant to play Astapor because it feels to me, whenever I play a card like that, it's just sod's law that I'll be against someone who's got some card that's going to blow up my location and then I'm going to have wasted all of that gold. So I think having that sort of risk with flea bottom is quite important. It makes you a little bit more reluctant to, to just sort of willy-nilly place it. You have to think about it. If you're up against Greyjoy, for example, you might want to wait till you've got a dupe in hand, stuff like that.
Yeah. So you're saying basically paying 4 for this rather than 1. It's a hit to your tempo on the board because you're investing your resources to the backboard. So you're going to lose on the board because you can't pay the gold over multiple rounds.
Yeah.
You have to now pay the gold early.
Yeah.
You have to be able to predict how much bestow you want to put on it and predict how many times you will want to use it over the life of the card.
Mm-hmm.
And once it's run out unless you have a way to get rid of it and replay it.
I mean, there are cards that let you put gold on things, aren't there?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Unbridled generosity.
Yeah.
Things like that, but they're more in heavy bestow decks. Whereas flea bottom never normally used in a heavy bestow deck. It's normally used in deck which, able to really abuse the sacrifice mechanic. Stark especially saw flea bottom quite a lot.
Yeah.
Martell saw flea bottom quite a lot because a lot of enters play effects on their 3 cost and a lot of characters, and they often went over reserve, so you can just bin the cards off. Targaryen, who can discard cards and now just bring them back in, they can still do those things, but they have to pay, a tempo cost earlier in the game to do so.
And generally, though, I mean, your flea bottom, if you bestow it the full 3, you're going to use it 3 times during the game. It's a once per round thing anyway, normally. There's generally is not ways that you would naturally be standing your locations like that. So it's probably going to last you for the time that you've got it on the board during the game. But it's that initial big investment, I think. Yeah,
what you say about the risk of the initial investment is also a good point. With Greyjoy can blow it up. Lay Waste is seeing play. That can just get rid of it and you have to find yourself a 0 cost attachment or location to put into play.
Yeah.
That can just nullify your 4 cost investment.
Even things like PD, you might not want to get rid of your flea bottom if you've got more important locations on the backboard, depending on what kind of deck you're playing. So,
see, Lay Waste particularly hurts because you can only fetch a 0 cost location for your 4 gold investment. Whereas if you played Dawn, for example, you can still go and get Starfall.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it hurts. So I think it's a good redesign.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more balanced, and like I say, it makes you think about what you're playing out.
Yeah, and the amount you have to bestow instills a choice upon the player to manage their game effectively, rather than just wing it.
Yeah.
And do it as you go along.
So I've decided to keep a hold of the remainder 3 gold that I have there. I wasn't really sure what to play out. My hand is full of chuds. And I think I was just remembering we had a practice game where Richard just like fell out my board. So I was a little bit reluctant to just chuck everything out because I felt like my hand was a bit low.
Did that actually happen?
Yeah, you've allied everything. And then I marched you.
And then you quit.
I decided that we'd not seen the cards that we needed to see, so there was no point continuing.
She rage quit, ladies and gentlemen.
I did not rage quit. We were trying to do a spoiler video and we hadn't seen like 2 of the spoilers.
Have you finished screeching?
Not screeching.
Just high pitch.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, this round looks like it could be my round.
Yeah, I definitely should have just played out another character.
With the plot, see, this is a good thing that we spoke about with the tempo loss of Flea Bottom now. So if you play out another character, you've invested in your future round. But if you play out a character, because you might need it this round. Because my board looks strong. 2 big characters, 3 smaller ones standing with a strength boosting plot. Old Town, just to double down on my draw and power gain.
Yeah, not looking great for me at the moment. I do have a plan. I've got a Quaith in hand, but I kind of forgot about your plot.
Banter!
And I was thinking, oh, well, if he puts Colon into a military or the garden caretaker or Septon, I can just Quaith her in because I've got 3 gold. And then I was like, oh shit, it's plot. Yeah, I didn't play very well this round.
That's something we all do, you know, like the when you play First Snow and then you marshal 3 character and you think, I just played that into my own plot and screwed it all up.
Yeah, which no one's ever done, ever, honest, and definitely wasn't done in this game, was it, Richard?
What?
Nothing?
What?
You may or may not do that later.
I think we agreed that I was mocking you by doing that.
Oh, okay. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Sure. I believe.
I believe.
So I'm debating using Flea Bottom here then. I could go and grab those Second Sons. And they're a nice strong bod. At the end of the day, you've got a lot of bods and you've got boosts.
It's all about the bod with you, isn't it?
Oh, it's all about
so
the bod.
Shallow.
Oh, I'm not that shallow at the moment.
Poor
Look at the
Tyrion.
size of me. Not like a frigging beach ball at my top. So I figure I'll just poke a cheeky power because, again, I'd forgotten your plot. And you were just like, defend with a garden caretaker boost. Oh yeah.
You're like, well then, that's 1 garden caretaker that won't be attacking me.
Yeah, like to see you get your power through now without that garden caretaker. Oh dear. Yeah, I totally fucked this round up.
It's the OP plot, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's the plot. It's the plot's fault. Definitely not my mismanagement of my attacks. So deciding to go for the intrigue. I'm trying to kneel out enough of your board that you can't do crossing. I don't know why I'm bothering. It's like gonna make no difference. Oh.
I have no idea what you just said.
I don't know either. Do you feel sorry for me? Look at my pathetic attempt to try and get you to know your board out.
Do you remember how strong this deck was in 2018?
Well, my Targ deck?
Yeah.
I think I was a better player in 2018 because I played a little bit more often.
That may be true.
Helped.
More reps definitely help. But I think we've seen all of your spoiler cards now.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's the difference, do you feel?
Well, I feel like I probably should have done a couple of more practice games with this deck to remind myself of how to play it for a start. I don't feel like I have enough card draw I feel like my hand's a bit low. Because there's...
Did you even trigger Meereen in the last round?
No.
Okay.
Because I didn't have any freed men, I didn't have Missandei. So I'd be throwing away a card and then getting cards that I might not even be able to use anyway.
I see. So there was the risk element. You didn't want to lose that initial investment.
Yeah, because before, it's like you didn't mind putting your hand under Meereen because you weren't losing anything by doing it. Whereas now, if you discard a card and then put your cards into Meereen and draw cards, and you can't use any of those cards...
You've thrown away a card.
For nothing.
So it promoted an active choice for you when to use it, rather than just using it with impunity because you paid 3 for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I will point out, that this isn't exactly a complete replica of your deck from National, because there's no Kotho in it. Now, Kotho is also undergoing a redesign, which I don't believe is finalised, or if it is, wasn't suitable for the deck anymore. So it doesn't go in the deck, but you know, Kotho discarding card. You'd love to draw Kotho with Meereen and 2 Targ cards, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't have that tempo spike in this deck at this moment. So that kind of goes against it a little bit. I feel like all the changes have slowed it down. So Hizdar only being once around has slowed down your economic tempo. Flea Bottom has slowed down your economic tempo.
Yeah.
Meereen had, forcing you to run out of cards quicker in hand.
Yeah.
So
See, I didn't mind triggering Meereen then because I had the Missandei.
Yes.
So, that's the perfect one. Missandei is obviously the best, and then if you can get a freed men, that's the next best that you can be chucking for the Meereen trigger. But
and anything you want to put in the Flea Bottom pile now at this stage.
Yeah, but I mean, because you've got second sons that generally are going to go into the Flea Bottom pile, they're normally the best option anyway. So obviously depending on what you want to do, but generally they're the ones you're going to go and get, and they just put themselves back in there anyway. So you're not too worried about putting loads of stuff in there?
It's obviously worth looking through the card pool and seeing what other characters you don't mind chucking in the bin.
Yeah, although you're doing a military here, so because they're going, I am just going to kill off the second sons because I think I have a second one in my hand. Well, and Meereen technically at the moment. But having Steve and the old town is a nice little
combo and card draw.
Yeah,
I like it.
So, so the other 2 cards I got was Plaza of Pride and Rose Road. So those just going into the Flea Bottom pile. So you can see that Meereen wasn't very successful. I didn't get anything useful. And if anything, it might have been nice to have got the Plaza or the Rose Road.
Could you have Plaza the Missandei?
Yeah. So on to our next plots then.
I'm throwing away a Flea Bottom because I don't have anything worth fleeing bottoming in.
Yeah. I think as well because it was a spoiler card and I've already got it on the board, so...
I mean, it is handy in this deck. If you left or right die, you don't mind killing them, close calling them, and then Flea Bottoming them back in.
Flea Bottomering them.
Flea Bottoming the Hightail trigger.
I've gone for Valadi. I figure I only lose 1 card, whereas you're going to lose 1 character even, whereas you're going to lose a big character.
Yep, the value is good for you. Still not an amazing play, but getting rid of some power as well makes it more palatable.
Yeah, I figured I had to get rid of one of them because otherwise you could just win this turn. You just do like a big power, right? And you get Renown and Crossing and Claims, so...
Possible. Yeah. Well, I think it's probably best that I get rid of Marjorie. I mean, I'm not... she's just a threat to stop you militarying me with impunity.
Yeah.
Slowed you down, kind of thing. So don't need her around. Renly seems good for insight and renown.
Yeah, gets you extra cards as well if they're loyal, so
yeah.
Get that extra card draw.
And he's a Tricon with 6 strength.
Yeah, can't really complain, can you? And you've not got a little lord on the board that you would want to kill off anyway, right?
So playing at the Palace of Sorrows means the bigger board is likely to have an advantage. Now, if that is an Aegon you've got in the shadow there.
Yeah, it isn't.
What is it?
It's a Queen's Guard.
Oh, Queen's
The
Guard.
only lord I've got is fucking Viserys.
It doesn't have to be on a lord, does it?
Oh, is it non-lady?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Could have put it on Viserys.
Don't know why I thought it
He
was.
would have done a great job for his sister.
I thought it was Lord only for some reason.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Titan Bastard Queen's Guard.
Yeah. Seems good.
Hisdar in the Queen's Guard as a king. King and Queen Guard.
Or maybe I was waiting for my Drogo.
Khal Drogo.
Yeah, again, I kind of messed up here because I kind of forgot your plot. And I was like, yeah, look at my big bodies. And then I looked at your plot and I was like, oh, maybe I should have played out some of this, like, you know.
Little bodies.
Yeah. But I've still got Flea Bottom that I can use, and I haven't used his Star's ability yet. So I could bring out the Aegon that is now in shadows.
Aegon and Dario gives you a lot more present for big bods.
Yeah, but your plaza makes it a lot less cool. Look at you! You're like, hee, look what I'm playing left and right.
I even gave a look into the camera.
You did, breaking that fourth wall. Bloody left and right. Bullshit.
You love to see it.
Oh, God, you don't.
Ah, a little cheeky bodyguard on Renners.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. 3 gold for that high tower spy I've got in hand, just in case I need another body. Hey look, I should have used the Great Hall.
Yeah, I think maybe you should have used that Great Hall, but you know, you can
I do use it. What are you talking about? I did use it. I just forgot to...
Oh, you just forgot to kneel it and reduce the cost, and then suddenly it magically happened after the fact.
What? I don't know what you mean. What?
Sure, I'm sure.
Look, it's been a long time since I played Game of Thrones.
Oh, got a card.
To the Rose Banner.
To the Rose Banner.
Right, well, this has changed a lot. So the original text was that it's the marshalling action. Choose a Tyrell character you control. Gain X gold, where X is that character's strength. Then sacrifice that character. It's completely been redesigned. The new text is now action. Kneel your faction card to remove a Tyrell character you control from the game until the beginning of the next phase.
Is this basically not just Mace on an event?
Yes.
Why bother?
You tell me.
I don't know. I want you to tell me.
I don't know. Cool. Moving on.
So, I mean, you know, obviously Mace has that action to remove a card and bring it back in. And for Mace, it's good because it can react and do stuff.
So it's a cool idea in itself. Like
yeah.
Removing a character from the game for a phase and bringing it back next phase has some advantages. So you can clear off negative attachments, which is nice if you've got a negative attachment on a character to get rid of it. You can trigger enter play effects. Okay. So you've got Hightower Spy, Allery, Olenna's Informant to do extra challenges in Crossing. So you can trigger enter play effect, including House Florent Knight, which unfortunately I didn't draw.
That's a shame.
Yeah, so it has application, and it's a good effect. You don't always want to have to play a 7-cost character just to get that small incremental effect.
So normally you'd pay 7 cost for a character to then have that ability to be able to do it. But now you're paying nothing to get that same ability. Well,
you're not paying 7 for that ability. You're paying part of that 7 cost is for a 5 strength Bicon body.
Yeah.
No, which is at least 5 of the cost. Another one of the costs was for Mace's top ability, where someone entered play and Mace gained power. And then another part was ability also.
But you're still agreeing that there is a cost that's, you know, part of Mace's cost is for this action.
Yeah, perhaps now about 1 gold worth. And the faction card now is roughly worth about 1 gold.
Okay.
Because the faction card now is opportunity cost. Generally, fealty shows that a faction cost nearly is worth around a gold.
Yeah.
And so if your faction card is no, you can't do other things, like you can't actually trigger mace. So you still can't do that effect twice in one round. So that eliminates House Florent Knight shenanigan on your at the Palace of Sorrow. You know, you can't do it 3 or 4 times in one round. So that's nice. So there are plenty of different little applications you can do with it.
Okay. So you think this card is a better redesign? You like this more than the previous?
Oh yeah. Well, the previous one was broken because it was used in combo. You buff up the strength, sacrifice character, get loads of gold, do your combo. So it's now a more playable design in terms of it helps with the game and the mechanics of playing the game in terms of challenges.
Just with regards things like, because obviously my deck's running First Snow.
Just before you go into that, the reason I did it this turn was to get a knelt character back into a standing character, which is important for the Palace of Sorrows, and it gives me a high tower trigger. So for that one card, I essentially got a standing character at 3 strength with a power icon, got a gold, and drew a card.
Seems fair.
You may continue.
Thank you. I was asking about First Snow and how it works with that.
Okay, so the character comes into play at the beginning of the next phase. So the character comes into play and then First Snow happens because it is a forced reaction to the beginning of the phase.
Okay.
So the card comes in at the beginning of the phase, then reaction to at the beginning of the phase start.
So if you've got something that reacts to something coming into play...
Yep.
So, for example, your High Tower.
Yep.
Would High Tower react to the card coming into play before the forced reaction of the plot?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Just checking.
Cool.
I'm considering doing shit and then realised that I miscalculated again. Because I'm a dork.
Well, you can get 6 characters to the board.
I guess 7 characters on the board.
Aegon to Dario. You got 3 men in there.
No, but I can use Flea Bottom.
True, you can get 8 then.
Where are you getting 8 from?
Well, if you discarded a Freedman with his Dar to bring Aegon into play, and then get Dario and bring in a second son, for example, and win by 5, you can get the Freedmen in. So that would be 8.
I don't think I saw Freedmen in this game.
No.
I saw them in the practice game and they were quite good.
Oh, you don't want your Queen's card?
No. I want my Aegon. Egg. There he is. So reacting with Aegon.
Is that all of the spoiler cards done?
No, there's one more.
Oh, okay.
One of yours.
Oh yeah, we've got 3 of yours in a row.
Yeah.
I think there is actually another couple of spoiler cards on the board.
Yep.
That are changed, but we haven't got graphics for that or anything like that.
Are you doing this to tease people, or
Yes.
are you actually going to tell them what they are?
No, I'm not going to tell them what they are.
Okay.
Well, what if they change? They might not be confirmed.
That's true.
Not for me to spoil everything.
Oh, I think I was asking a rules question here.
But yeah, up the Arbo's banned now. No, I'm just kidding. What's your rules question?
I think I was asking you about things coming in and out. Like if I was to Meereen and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, the Meereen and Dario thing. So because they're both at the end of the phase, so Aegon at the end of the phase, Dario, who's known to play, will come back to your hand. But also at the end of the phase, you will discard the cards in your hand and bring back the cards from Meereen.
Mm.
So a little bit of checking on Thrones DB told us that the first player gets to decide in their entrance.
Good thing I'm first player then.
Yes. That was why you didn't Aegon in the last round. Was it not? Or was that in the practice game?
I think that's in the practice game.
Oh, my bad. Too many practice games.
We had one practice game.
Oh my god.
Too many.
We had one!
Yeah, sorry I'm taking so long, by the way, guys.
That's alright. Everybody watching the video
Used to me being that slow, I know, I'm sorry.
I was going to say have turned off their TV sets, but
No, there's still one more spoiler. I'm sure they want to see the last one.
They normally just scroll through.
Yeah, it's true. It's quite easy to find them.
Yeah. I've got 5 gold. I have a trick. Probably.
I know. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Dario. I'm going to get some of your shit.
What are you going to take?
And I had like a little trick I wanted
Steve.
to do.
You're going to take Steve and then trigger him.
That
To get 2 gold and a card and put him on top of my deck.
Would I get the gold in the card?
Yeah, you would.
Very cool. Can I get Steve?
Yeah,
Is he a
he's an ally.
companion? He's an ally.
He must be an ally. A penny pinching ally.
Is this where you can sort your memory?
What memory?
Your phone.
But when I type Steve, nothing comes up.
I do generally forget the names of some of these sometimes. Look at you ambushing in your little high tower spy.
Yeah. Steve is not an ally.
What?
He's just the 7.
See?
How can you be the 7 when you're stealing out the collection pot? That's like the opposite of the 7. You're stealing from your own faith.
I was so sad when you defended this. I had so many plans.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Ugh, you're so mean to me. I had all my little plans sorted. I was going to steal on your dudes, and I was like, yeah, it's going to be great.
You're going to steal my garden caretaker.
Yeah, but your garden caretaker's like a 3 strength power icon.
Yeah, but so my high tower spy.
And then it was going to let me do, some other stuff. And
Irrelevant. You didn't do it.
And now I have to change what I'm doing, and it's not as fun.
Power challenge for 9.
Yeah. But now I can't do my military.
Getting some gold.
I know, it's like if you've got another bloody high tower spy, I swear to God.
I'm just gaining power. I'm like, yeah, do things.
I'm Richard Walker, do what I want.
Richard Walker, do what I want. That's my favourite quote. It makes me sound like such a knobhead. I love it.
You are a knobhead.
I know.
Yeah, you know your garden caretaker, and I was like, you do know that if you're not worried about winning it, you have a non-kneeling power icon, right?
That didn't happen.
Definitely happened.
Look, don't you know who I am? I played Melee at World Championship level.
Yeah.
I know how cards work.
Sure. I was so excited by this. I was like, I'm going to use my Jicky, give Drogo a power. But the problem being is I then forget to take his renown power.
You're such a div.
I know. I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to ambush. I'm going to bring her in with Flea Bottom, and then she's going to give my lords power because I've got like Meereen cards, and I was really excited that I could, give all my lords like power and shit, and then just forgot to take his renown anyways.
Man, you're dumber than a bag of rocks.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why you love me, right? You can just trick me. You tricked
yourself. You're just deluding yourself here. Oh, I'm just going to nail characters and do challenges.
Yeah, you're just whizzing through all of them. This was so sad.
Wow, I'm winning, smashing it. Is that 14-2?
It will be when you take Dom, yeah.
Dominance. And then I'm going to win on my Old Town trigger. No more spoiler cards for you.
So I'll get my cards back, trigger Meereen first, and then Aegon, so I can have my Dario back in hand.
Is this the bit where we cheated slightly?
A little bit, yeah.
This is the bit where I'm like, shit, I'm going to win on Old Town, but I haven't spoiled the last card. I'm going to say event.
Yeah, I think you just didn't actually say anything. I was like, we should act out like we're using Old Town. They'll never know.
They'll never know. Oh no, it wasn't the card I said. What a shame.
You should have said attachment, because there was literally only one other attachment in your deck.
You know what? I like the fact that it was a Steve anyway, just to sow the seed of doubt. Didn't I trigger my old turn before?
Yeah.
Was that Steve still on there from before?
Yeah, I think I actually said to you, like, did you not trigger it in the last round and get your Steve back?
Of course I did. I got him in hand.
So yes, we may or may not have deliberately dragged out this game ever so slightly so that you could see the last spoiler card, guys. You can thank us later.
If only Rebecca had tried a bit harder.
I'm sorry. Hey, you're the one that's meant to be getting your card out.
But I actually think this is a really good display of how the changes have slowed down this Targ Meereen deck. With the flea bottom, his Dar restriction, and Meereen itself. Possibly means you need a little change in terms of a bit more card draw. And maybe a bit more gold.
Yeah.
Because you can't his Dar multiple times and you have to set up your flea bottom earlier. Might mean you just need more gold.
I totally screwed up my marshalling of this phase as well.
It doesn't matter. Because I said to you, I've got the last boiler card, you basically lost when I trigger it.
Yeah, but I had a counter.
What do you mean you had a counter?
Well, we'll find out.
It sounded like you just said, where we'll find out. Werewolf.
Well, werewolf.
Werewolf.
Oh.
As opposed to a wenwolf. Or a Y-wolf.
Why did I marry you? You're such a weirdo. So look, what I could have done here is I could have knelt my bastard dude and got the Dario back to hand and then put a dupe on him.
Why?
I mean, I know you're going to win.
You'd nail a character just to get a dupe?
Yeah, because it's first snow.
Oh my god, yes,
So
you could. That's a really good play, actually.
That.
I do like that, using the Titan Bastard first now. Is it a marshalling action?
I have no idea.
I think it might just be an action, so I think that is a legitimate play.
Yeah.
Rebecca has thought of a legitimate play.
After the game, as is so often the case.
So, Bastard. Where's the Titan
Quick,
Bastard?
so we've got a spoiler card coming up.
Titan Bastard. Yeah, just an anytime action.
Cool. Spoiler card! It's Mace. He has been redesigned. So, come on. You're the Tyrell dude. You talk us through.
Okay. Original tech. After a Tyrell character enters play under your control, pay 1 gold to have Mace Tyrell gain 1 power. Limit 1 per phase. Action. Kneel your faction card to remove another Tyrell character you control from the game until the beginning of the next phase. The new text. The action has remained exactly the same. However, the reaction. After a unique Tyrell character enters play under your control, pay 1 gold to have that character gain 1 power. Limit 1 per phase. So the change is the Tyrell character has to be unique to enter play, and you pay 1 gold to have that character gain 1 power. So instead of building up loads of powers onto Mace, the power will get spread around. It makes the power more vulnerable to reset, which was one of the problems with Mace. I remember when he first came out, people would trigger, and you'd end up with 6 power on Mace and no way to stop it.
Yeah.
Whereas at least now, if you have a reset, you can eliminate some of the power.
Yeah, definitely. And also because it's a unique Tyrell character as well. You can't just have a case of you marshal a garden caretaker and then pay a gold and give your Mace a power anymore.
And then trigger Mace's ability to throw it out of play and bring it back into play next phase.
To get another one, yeah.
You have to work harder for it. I actually think he's worse. Like, significant. I think if he had Renown and the action only, he might be better.
Okay.
Because
I don't think having the action only though is that good, because it basically means he's just Rose Banner.
Yeah. I know.
I like the fact that he's got that difference with the reaction.
But what I mean is, if he had Renown instead of the reaction, he would likely get 1 power round, but it would stick on him, and you don't have to pay a gold for every power that you get.
I don't feel like he's the kind of person that would have Renown though. He's a
I'm
bit goofy in the show, isn't he?
In the show, yeah, but this is based on the book. He wasn't much better in the book, to be honest.
Was he not?
He was
I don't know if there's any keyword that would suit him. I mean, insight, well, he's not really very insightful.
Yeah.
He's not renowned.
But my point is, Renown would just be better. I'm not sure this Mace is worth 6 cost.
Okay.
Because you have to pay a gold for every renown, and it's very...
Oh, is it
every
6
power...
cost, this one?
No, 7.
Oh, you said
I'm
6.
saying he's worth... I think he's only worth 6.
Oh, right, I see what you're saying.
Because 7 cost for that. The gold... You have to pay every gold for... pay a gold for every power that you have.
Yeah.
That power is inherently weaker and harder to get. So, I'm not sure it's worth.
So look, I'm nightmaresing your mace because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to stop you from taking something out of play. And you're like, haha, guess what I got?
Yeah, but the thing is... The mace, I can trigger mace as a reaction to himself entering play before you have the opportunity to nightmares.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's a unique Tyrell character. But you jumped in there with your little nightmares.
I was so excited to play the nightmares.
But then
oh,
I thought,
bless you. You just let me do it.
After your nightmares, I thought, well, okay, I've got a rose banner, I'll just show off them. And now I've basically won the game.
So you use a rose banner instead, so that you can get in the marshalling. And I'm like, fine, I can do stuff. I'm going to discard my Quaith and get my Queen's Guard out because that's going to make all the difference.
Well done, Rebecca. It's like when a child does a really crappy little drawing, you're like, well done, child. But it's terrible. And they're like, will you put it on the fridge? And you go, yeah. And then you put it in the bin.
Yeah, but look, you just marshalled a Septon in my first snow turn.
Yeah, but I'm mocking you. That's what I'm doing. I'm mocking you.
Sure.
Because we're not even going to get that far.
And then it comes back into play. And before my first snow reacts, you get to...
Trigger mace. I trigger High Tower for extra bounce.
Such a dick.
I didn't actually pay the gold, but I do have the gold. Unless I didn't pick up my High Tower gold. But anyway, I win.
You did.
Smashed.
Yay!
Interesting spoiler cards.
So, that was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was alright. I think actually your deck, that deck, been slowed down a lot. It makes it much more palatable to play again. The Tyrell deck, I think Mace isn't really 7 cost worthy myself, but it's interesting. We can do some interesting things, like the action as well. The event to the Rose Banner now is interesting rather than just broken and in combo.
Yeah.
So,
So overall,
interesting.
Most of the cards better. Mace, maybe we're not as happy with, but it's acceptable.
Yeah, I don't think it's probably worth it competitively, but whatever.
So we'll round this up then. Thanks as always to everyone for watching, and thanks of course to our patrons for supporting the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by going to patreon.com/The White Walkers. And yeah, I think we've got a new idea on some games that we want to get done. And yeah, we'll hopefully be bringing those to you shortly. Thanks guys. Bye.
Goodbye.